Hi, everybody. We have about 2 minutes, so we're going to be starting, and I just wanted to come on here live so that you know you're in the right place. You should be able to access this on YouTube straight from the event page on Facebook. And I want to thank you guys so much for coming. And in the comments on this Facebook page, you can ask me questions as we're going. Say hi, let me know you're here. And we're going to have a great time tonight. We're going to cover a bunch of different ideas, my top 5 things to kind of ditch the habits that we've picked up this summer amidst all of the stress and children being home and rockets and all the craziness. So we'll go more into that in 2 minutes. But I just wanted to welcome you all who are here, who are coming on. Putting my notes together. Here we go. We're going to share everything that we have planned. And I'll tell you about, in the meantime, some other interesting things I have here going on. Let's see. I see some people are here. That's great. And, you know, we're going to have a great time. Okay, we got 1 more minute left. So if you haven't shared this with a friend yet, share it with them now so that you know, they can join us here and hook up. Okay. We almost ready? We're counting down now. Shared it one last time. I see some of you are logging into the page. I can see that some of you are watching, and I hope you'll enjoy. It is exactly 8 o'clock, and we're going to start on time. So, welcome to this live chat all about the top 5 things that we can do and that we're going to do in order to make a separation between the summer and the new year. And what's really annoying about bad habits is how easy they are to start and how difficult they are to break. And I kind of dislike calling certain habits bad because they got us through. So I'm going to start out by telling you who I am and why you should care what I have to say on this topic. So I'm sure many of you are watching because you know me. Maybe you've been to a cooking workshop I've done. Maybe you've come to a lecture, a class. Maybe you've read my blog. And if you haven't, feel free to go to liliaronan.com. Aside from that, what I am is a person who struggled with my weight from when I was around 8 years old, and truly more seriously struggled with finding a balance between who I was and the world around me. And part of that was food. It's the way that we interact literally with the physical world is through eating. And so I had a sensitivity issue with that from when I was 8. And I tried to attack it from the purely physical standpoint. I tried every single diet pill, starvation, dietitians, Weight Watchers, every single thing under the sun, and yet I really wasn't successful. And it was, as you can imagine, for a young girl, incredibly traumatic. But what I found more difficult than just the weight was what it symbolized. It symbolized this distance and this wall I was putting up between me and the rest of the world. And for many of us, that's how we use food. We use food as a way to relate to other people, as a way to relate to the rest of the world, and sometimes as a way to cope and guard ourselves from the bad things. So, so many of my friends, myself, so many of you on Facebook have talked about what drink you're drinking, what ice cream you're eating, kind of what we're doing to just get through the summer when there were literally rockets flying at our heads. Literally, we were having a breakdown. So whatever we did to get through the day, that's what we did. And we don't judge it. We don't say those things were terrible or those things were bad habits, because what you need to do when you're in that situation is to get through it, and to get through it as unscathed as possible without PTSD. And if Ben & Jerry's got you through the day, or we'll call it a glass of wine, got you through, then power to you. The problem is those same habits that helped us cope can hold us back in real life. So let's jump right in and talk about the 5 steps to getting back on track, and I'll tell you how I handle it and how you can join me in really starting the new year off right. These are inspired by Jewish philosophy, and I'm kind of the Renaissance woman of holistic health. I have degrees in literature, writing, Jewish philosophy, education, and holistic health. So I like to dip my hat in, wear many different hats. I dip my pen in many different bottles, whatever you want to say, and they all inspire me and put together the 5 steps that we're going to talk about right now. So the first step is to ditch the past. And that's exactly what I was just talking about. And that means accept that what you did got you through, and now we are here. Now we're in the future. Rockets have stopped for now, and we have to get back to our life. And we want to do it in a body that we feel good about, and a body that's energized and ready to get us through and fuel us through that life that we want. So, how to do that? How do you ditch that habit? First step is to clean out your cabinets, clean out your fridge, clean out your freezer of any of those kind of coping snack foods that you've been buying, especially anything that's very high in sugar, processed foods, all those things that, like, when you felt like you had no energy and you just ate a bag of chips, chocolate bar, or container of Ben & Jerry's for dinner. Yeah, all those. Put them aside in the trash. Not because they're bad, not because they're evil, but because you're moving on. So they have to be put to the side. The second step is really here is to say, okay, those were my old coping strategies. Now step 2 is making new coping strategies. And the first thing, whenever I start this process, especially with number 2, is to make a list of why I want this. What are the things that I want to achieve here by picking new habits? Is it just so I can feel kind of better than everybody else? Like, oh, I don't eat Ben & Jerry's. I'm so, you know, I'm so holy, I'm so pure. Well, put that one aside, because that one's not going to get you through your first craving. Put aside the real reasons that you want to eat healthier day in and day out, why you want to go into the new year maybe feeling like all of your summer clothes, fall clothes fit and look well and confident. Put those reasons down. Do you have family that you feel like you're a role model for? Do you feel that when you don't recognize yourself in the mirror, your whole day kind of doesn't go as smoothly? Do you recognize that when you feel really light on your feet, everything else really kind of feels a little bit easier? Maybe you feel more confident in the most important relationships in your life when you feel better in your own skin. Really write down the most meaningful reasons why you want this and why you want it now. The second part of gathering your resources and building new habits is to make a list. At the beginning of every school year, if you read my back-to-school handout worksheets, I said to make a list of babysitters and emergency contacts, and keep it all in your phone and hung up in your house and on your fridge, so that when somebody in your life lets you down, as we're people and we're want to do, you know that there's somebody else. You can call somebody else on the list who's going to get you out of that type spot. So this is kind of the same thing. We all don't live on an island. We need our support system. So whether your support system is me on Facebook, whether your support system is really good friends, family, maybe your cleaning lady, whatever are the tools that you have at your disposal right now, make a list. Will your kids help out in the house? Does your husband help? Will someone else cook dinner? What are your favorite good-for-you takeout places? Make a list of every tool that you have, and then keep it handy, so that in those moments of stress and pressure that would have been like, okay, I'll just order pizza again, I'll just get the french fries, you'll say, wait a minute, I know that we can go to Pinati and everyone likes it. Wait, I know this place has whole wheat pizza. wait, I know I can get the cleaning lady in tomorrow. Okay, now I can breathe, and I'll nuke some vegetables and chicken, throw them in the oven. I will make a soup, defrost something from the freezer. Whatever it is you're going to do, you'll be able to do it better. You'll have a clearer mind when you know you have people to support you. My personal favorite things to do when I need support is I have Facebook. I have Facebook groups of my clients and people who depend on me, and I have people who I depend on. You know, the best coaches have coaches of their own that help keep us on track so that we can be the best coaches and helpmates for you guys. So I have my people that I can speed dial, my friends who when I need a hug I can go to, my significant handsome husband who I can ask for a hug and, you know, rant at and ask for comfort from when I'm feeling bad. So put down all of the people who are supporting you. That is key to moving forward. The next thing is, now that you've emptied out your fridge, freezer, cabinets of all the bad foods, what are you going to put in there, right? Okay. So far, I have one question here about email, so I'm going to take a break for 1 second here. The question is, okay. While I'm putting my list of things together, it makes me very sad. It makes me feel like I'm never going to, what does it say? I'm never going to accomplish them. It feels so overwhelming. That's really normal. Sometimes when we put down what we really want, it's a little bit shocking to us that we associate these things with how we eat. You know, a lot of times we can say, well, in those moments that we're under stress, we'll say, well, I can eat whatever I want because it's just getting me through the day. And yet when we make a list of all the things that are affected by when we feel poorly about our body, or, you know, not good in our own skin, or low energy because we haven't been eating well, those things are actually really meaningful and important in our life. Like here she wrote down body confidence and, you know, feeling good naked, and we all want to do that. And yeah, so I want to say to you that it's okay to be scared. And no matter what I say here today, no matter how good my advice is, it's not going to solve every single thing on your list, and you shouldn't expect it to. But aside from that, more important than that, is that you're going to make a start, and you're going to feel more positive, and you're going to know that you can accomplish those things. And over the next year, I really hope you'll be blessed to check off those things on your list. Going back to the point, what should we be eating? What should we be buying? So number 3 is what to cook, what to buy, what to eat in order to get your body back on track. So again, anybody who knows me knows I run lots of sugar detoxes and knows why I'm so passionate about it. Because sugar is the emotional juice of our body, and it's completely attached to our emotional stability, how we feel, cravings, habits. The whole thing is related to sugar. So, of course, the things I'm going to choose are not going to be high sugar and actually going to be very low sugar. For example, you really want to start your day with something that's high protein. That means you can start with eggs and a vegetable salad. You know, if you're doing this because maybe you put on some weight from all of those Ben & Jerry's and margaritas, then I would suggest going with 1 egg plus 2 egg whites in the morning. Otherwise, 1 egg is fine. 1 egg plus 1 egg white, depending on how hungry you are. And vegetables, or a smoothie. And when you make a smoothie, I always use an additive like chia seeds, which have added protein, flax seeds, or I like Herbalife powder, but you don't have to use that. But I use something extra so that it's not just soy milk or almond milk. It has a real big protein boost. The next thing is I stock up on the easiest things possible, because again, I'm still getting over this stress, and I'm getting into back to school and back to work, and the holidays are coming up. So with the last thing that we want is really complicated recipes. So buy as many vegetables that you like to eat raw. My personal favorites are red peppers, cucumbers, carrots, pickles, and cabbage, and romaine lettuce. So all those things I can throw a salad to, cherry tomatoes, all those things I can throw a salad to any one of 100 salads together, or just literally cut them on a plate and enjoy them. If you've never had romaine lettuce with just lemon juice on it, it happens to be amazing. Okay, so frozen vegetables are also great. Also frozen beans and lentils, all that stuff is key to having dinner ready very, very quickly, or making soups or stews in 15 to 20 minutes, okay? And that's the key to kind of keeping up with this in the next 21 days between now and Rosh Hashanah. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. are the two biggest times of day that your blood sugar tends to drop. Make sure you have a snack. I suggest to go with dairy in the morning, 10 a.m. snack of yogurt and fresh fruit, or yogurt that has fruit in it. You just really want to make sure about added sugars, so I suggest really having plain yogurt with fresh fruit. That's my favorite snack for 10 a.m., especially when I'm trying to get my system back on track. Lunch. Lunch is my favorite time to have a salad. Okay, a salad and tuna, a salad and a hard-boiled egg if I didn't have an egg for breakfast, a salad with some salty feta cheese on it, a salad basically. Why? Because in the middle of the day, it's the hottest time of day, still going into fall here in Israel, and it's easy. You can bring it with you anywhere, and I just find that that's the way to go for me. I'll even add a whole grain, like I'll take some of those frozen lentils and frozen beans and just microwave them for a minute and throw them on the salad for protein and carbs. So those are all easy, easy, easy things to do. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is when I have a small bowl of oatmeal with some cut up vegetables or a tabbouleh of any kind of mixed grain that I may have around. So you can use quinoa, you can use bulgur, you can use buckwheat. Basically, a tabbouleh is a cold salad with grains and vegetables. So I either have that or I'll have oatmeal at 3 p.m. Appropriate serving size is half a cup cooked. So a half a cup of oatmeal plus some fruit or vegetables, or half a cup of a grain like tabbouleh or quinoa with as much vegetables and fresh herbs as you want. Dinner. Dinner, keep it simple. Any piece of fish, chicken, tofu with lots of vegetables. I prefer steamed, again, really because the whole point is I don't have much time, and if I am in the mood and I do have more time, then I'll make a soup or a stew, which is great because I'll have it for a few days. So again, if you're looking to cook and keep it easy, a whole chicken that you'll enjoy for a few days, a whole half side of salmon, again, you'll have dinner for a few days. That's keeping it very simple, and what it will do is take the stress off the time getting your body back under control. The most important thing is the things that you give to your body, all the food, and also sleep, okay? Sleep is key. One of the things I feel like that we get in the summer, we're going to bed so much later because there's so many more daylight hours. The kids are up so much more because there's so many more daylight hours. And with all of the stress and sirens and worrying about relatives in Israel if you were abroad, and the craziness that was even going on in the rest of the world, sleep has not been a top priority for most of us this summer. Getting 8 hours. I know it hurts. You can do it. Get 8 hours of sleep, and you will feel so much better by the new year. Okay, let's review the steps we have so far. Step number 1, ditch the past. Accept that those old coping strategies got you through, and now it's time to put them aside. Say thank you very much. But I'm cleaning you out of my cabinets and closets. Step number 2, gathering our support, gathering our strength, putting our tools together. Step number 3, eat food, buying food, cooking food, keeping it as simple as possible. Breakfast of eggs or a smoothie with vegetables. Lunch, again, of vegetables with beans or lentils. A yogurt at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. tabbouleh or oatmeal. And dinner of simple steamed vegetables, salads, chicken, fish, tofu, soup. Again, very, very simple, very easy to follow. Step 4. Let me see if we have any questions. Take a break here for 1 minute. Digest everything. Okay. I see you're here. You're doing good. Step number 4. Act it out. All of that stress, everything you've been holding in, all of the fear, all of the emotion, all of the expectations of what you plan to accomplish this summer that kind of went out the window, put them aside and act them out. And that means movement, exercise. And I'm recommending for the new year to really get you in gear in the next 21 days, 2 different kinds of exercise, okay? And each has 2 different purposes. The first is high intensity interval training. And if you go to my blog right after you watch this, you will see all of the tools that I'm talking about here, where to go to get the sugar detox I'll be following that has recipes and all sorts of stuff, and where to get all of the workouts I'm going to mention right now. High intensity interval training is between 10 to 40 minutes, never more than that, or it shouldn't be unless you're really training for a huge kind of workout event. And what it means is that you work to your maximum and then you rest. And you work to your maximum for a minute and then you rest for a few seconds, like 10 to 15 to 30 seconds, depending on who the trainer is. And you work to your maximum for a minute and then you take a break. And what that does, the change in your heart rate, the way it affects your muscles, creates muscle like nothing else and allows you to burn calories, burn energy, and really squeeze all of that stress out of your body in a way that nothing else does. You'll push yourself, you'll feel amazing, you'll feel accomplished, and it'll give you back that sense of power that we lose when crazy things that are out of our control happen in life. Second side of that is yoga or Tai Chi. The idea of yoga and Tai Chi is to become at one with the environment. So high-intensity interval training is all about being in control and feeling powerful in our own body within the environment. And at the same time, yoga is about letting go. Tai Chi is about becoming one with the things we can't control and accepting them. So when you do those things together, you're going to feel powerful and you'll feel strong enough to also accept those things that are beyond our control. So I put on my blog right now my links to my new favorite yoga teacher on YouTube and my favorite high-intensity interval training workouts. You can go to a boot camp, you can do any sort of these sort of workouts that really make you sweat, really push you in a short period of time. So again, you're not talking about working out for more than an hour total a day. And again, you can do 15 minutes of high-intensity interval training, 15 minutes of yoga, and still put together 30 minutes that's going to really help you make a change for the new year. Movement is key to changing lifestyle and breaking bad habits because it releases chemicals and neurotransmitters in your brain that are really, really, really going to help when those cravings hit you and you want to say yes or you want to give up. You need those endorphins. You need that feel-good energy that you're going to get from exercising. It is key. And sweating is also, all of that stuff is just going to make it easier to sleep, easier to eat well. Everything else will be easier when you get your movement. And you'll find it easier to move when you're eating well and sleeping. It all goes hand in hand, helping each other. So, act it out with exercise, breathe deep, learn to breathe again. I mean, that's the other thing really get out of yoga is when we're stressed out, we take really shallow breaths. And when we can relax, we breathe deep. And just from 5 deep breaths, you can change your entire mood. The last step, I can't believe this lecture is almost over. Step 5, accept that habits are hard to change, and so mindfulness is key. Every time those desires and habits pop in your head, oh, I could really go for that right now, or this is exactly the time of day I need that glass of wine. Accept that. That's okay. You say, wow, thank you, glass of wine. Thank you, Ben & Jerry's. Thank you, little vacation I took. At that moment, you really gave me what I needed. But right now, I really need something else. I need something that's going to make me feel good tomorrow. And that's where you call on that breathing that you just practiced in yoga. That's where you call on that feeling of power you just got from exercising. That's where you call on the fact that you're not hungry because you've been eating such good food. And you say, I'm strong enough to go to that list I made at the beginning of support and Facebook and friends and loved ones and ask somebody else to help me right now. I don't need to go inside and be strong for everyone and go to the wine and go to the ice cream. And that's how you break those habits. And that's how you enter Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, full of peace and empowerment and positivity and belief that next year is going to be better. So this was very special to me because I've suffered right along with all of you. I understand what we've all been through. I've been through it myself. And in my blog about this, I talk a little bit about kind of my coping strategies. And if you've been following me throughout here, you've seen that I started tracking what I eat in order to keep me in check when I couldn't trust my hunger, because my hunger was for it all to stop. And that's not something I could feed with food. And, you know, through tracking, I've managed to stay the same weight throughout this whole summer, but I didn't lose weight because I was so stressed out. And it's just been key. And also, if you're going to be doing this and you want to get back on track, I really suggest tracking what you eat and what you're doing. Again, this isn't a way of life forever. What it means is there's a period of time where you have to know to trust your heart instead of your stomach. And usually I'm all about trusting your stomach and listening to your hunger. But when you know for a fact that your hunger has nothing to do with food, it's important to feed the hunger what it really needs, that love, that compassion, that support, and feed the body what it needs, the healthy food, the exercise, and the love, and the peace. So I wish us all a healthy, blessed, peaceful New Year. Please check out www.liliaronen.com for links, for workouts, and if you're going to join me for the 7-day sugar detox, which is the mind, body, spirit plan that I do whenever I feel like I've just gotten down. And even though I've been tracking, I've been eating way more sweets than I normally do. And I have been having cravings for Starbucks coffee and Trader Joe's vanilla ice cream that I can't have here in Israel, and all sorts of other things that come into my mind at random times. And need to take a deep breath and go back to a place where I'm not having useless cravings that are no way related to my hunger. And the way I do that is the 7-day sugar detox, and it energizes me not only in terms of my body, it energizes me in terms of my spirit, because it's a deep experience, and doing it with friends and family and supporters and clients always gives me a big boost in my life. So you're welcome to join me. You're welcome to take anything here that was meaningful to you, and have a wonderful New Year. I look forward to hearing from you on Facebook and on my website. Have a great day.